welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at a fully boxed up and put away version of the Everdell Complete Collection. First of all, right here off the bat, I would recommend not getting rid of this. Just keep it on top of your box because it is quite useful for things like where the game boards go, things like that, how the Evertree may go back in, just in case you might forget. So my recommendation would be to not throw this away. But what we're going to show off in the video here is a little bit more detailed than all of that. All right. So let's start on the right side here. The tree came in this setup as normal, so that should be pretty standard. And then I mentioned this in my unboxing video, so I wanted to just show it off. This is complete OCD. This is entirely not necessary, but I kind of organized my meeples in much more of a, it doesn't really look like a rainbow, which is unfortunate, but you know, all the light colors are over here, and then all of my big critter meeples are in the middle there. So there we go. That one should be straightforward. All right, and then over here in the Pearlbrook tray, we have, if I can get into it, there we go. In the Pearlbrook tray, we have all the open and closed signs, as well as the special events or monuments. So those can go ahead and be built, and that way you don't have to build them each individual time. These boxes are meant to just be lifted out, and so this is how you're going to pull out your Pearlbrook box. It's not meant to be pulling out the plastic tray each time. All right, this one, however, is meant to be pulled out so you can get to underneath. You'll notice that I did not put the rule books on top because there is actually a space for them right here. You'll notice that there's little notches here, here, and here that are designed to hold your rule books. So that's where they go. Just wanted to point that out. That's where they were when you unboxed them. So just continue to put them back there. All these little crevices over here are great places to tuck these little silica gel things. For those of you who do not know, these kind of soak up moisture to help keep your cardboard components from warping. All right, here is the resource tray. And I have gone ahead and put in all of the deluxe resource vessels. And it's pretty much where all the bags were of the resources. That's where the resource vessels are going to go. Pretty straightforward. This is quite empty. I was noticing that when I was filling it out. I'm wondering if there is maybe like a secret hush hush expansion down the road, because this is it's a very specific shape, but obviously maybe they just took all the extra space, created a little spot for your fingers. So maybe I'm just way overthinking this, but anyways, there you have it. The only things I had to throw in here were the big chunky dice, the reservation tokens, the saddles for the big critters, and the Nightweave tokens. And something that it caught me off guard at first is that in the instruction manual it says that there is a token for each season, and you can see there's only 2 tokens here. Well, it's because they're double-sided. So save you guys the stress of wondering if you have lost a token. Keep that in mind. Also, they make note on the sticker sheets that you shouldn't use the saddles if you've stickered your meeples, but I've seen photos that say if you put the critter in and then put the saddle on the big critter, that it's okay with the stickers. Just be cautious. And these are much more flexible than the base game ones, or the original ones. So take that for what it's worth. But again, this one is in its own box, so this whole box is meant to be pulled out when you're ready to play. All right, underneath here, this one is really straightforward. I went ahead and placed the train tokens, which are pretty small, in this bag so that they didn't have to be anywhere else, because this bag is meant to go in there, and why not? So there's the bag. These larger things from Belfair and Pearlbrook just go in here. There is also room for if you have the original score pad, to fit in there as well. And these were already in there, so that should be pretty straightforward. And then what's underneath there is all the game boards. We talked about that in the unboxing. It's also on this sheet here how they are meant to go back into there. But there's really no reason why you should ever need to even pull that bottom one out of the box. All right, last but not least is our card tray. So right now you'll notice that there is a lot of extra space, so I've kept these foam pads, and I probably could fit everything into one half here, but I stuck them in the middle, just a little easier to get to. If you are going to sleeve your cards, they're going to take up this whole side here. But let me just point out a few things here that, there's a thing for the main deck, there's a thing for your rugwort cards, but then there's things like New Leaf here, where you can put your New Leaf characters. All right. You wouldn't necessarily want to use these if you're not playing with the New Leaf expansion. Same thing with, let's see, Spirecrest didn't come with any. Same thing with Pearlbrook. If you're not going to play with the Pearlbrook expansion, you don't want to use these constructions and critters. So don't just keep everything in a big stack. I would auction them out here. All of Nightweave's stuff is here. The stuff that came in your Belfair pack that has the little bell on it, these are the extra cards. And everything else is pretty self-explanatory. In the back here, that doesn't have, at least for now, a divider, are this promo pack, which is a whole bunch of extra farms, or I stuck my farms in here, as well as these that you can write your individual names on somewhere. Yeah. So I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with this promo pack, whether I'm going to use it or not. But let's see here. Here's all the overlays for various things, special events and things like that. They do fit in here, but I may come back and stick them in here at some point down the road. Because if I sleeve these smaller cards, they're going to take up at least another one of these trays. And so here I have my, these aren't adornments, what are these called? These are from the Belfair expansion. I have the tickets from the New Leaf expansion, and then in here, this all the Spirecrest expansions, as well as there's a few player powers that require tokens. So like the Oxalotl, I can never pronounce that, or the market tokens for Belfair are in here. But most of that right there is the Spirecrest. And then last but not least, the small cards here, we have visitors, and then there's like a whole separate thing for New Leaf and Pearlbrook. That's because if you're not playing with the New Leaf expansion, you're not going to want to put in the special events, because some of these, specifically the New Leaf ones, appear to be okay. But the Pearlbrook ones, for example, if you're not playing with the Pearlbrook expansion and the Pearlbrook critters, you're never going to see the pirate ship, for example. So you wouldn't want to have those special events mixed in with the rest, because you wouldn't be able to obtain them. The forest cards, however, I've gone through those, and there's nothing on any of the expansion ones, even though they are marked appropriately, that says you couldn't use them, as long as you're using them at the proper player count, for your base game, because they just are offering you base resources. And that's pretty much it. Let's see if make sure there's anything else here. No other surprises. Everything else should be very straightforward. So that's going to do it. Like I said, nothing is super tricky. Some of you may utilize this space for this stuff, especially if you've sleeved your cards. And that's going to do it. It appears very daunting, but it's really not. So here we go. Here is everything now back in the box and complete. You will notice that I did not put any of the cardboard components that I have upgraded resources for, like the Occupy tokens and the point tokens or coins, whatever you want to call them. There's no need for those, so I tucked them away in the resource vessel box, which I tend to hold on to this kind of stuff just in case. But that'll go off in storage somewhere. But that is going to do it for our reboxing video of Everdell the Complete Collection. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.